Alright, welcome to Premiere 101. The first thing I'd like you to do is open up Premiere, and when you get to the screen you go to New Project. When you open up a new project, there's a couple of things that you need to know. You need to know the capture format. Most video you work with nowadays are HDV, so it's best to start with HDV. If you film anything on a school camera, it will be HDV. The location, make sure it is on your computer's hard drive. So it should say saved files, which is your computer's hard drive. If it's not on saved files, it gets connected to an outer drive, which does not have the same file capacity necessarily, and HD videos are large file type, so it's best just to keep it on your computer. So I'm going to put it to save files, and I'm going to call it Premiere 101. Then it's going to ask you what you were capturing, and it's best to use DVNTSC, and the standard video is fine. If you'd like a widescreen video as you would for movie theater, you're more than welcome to. We won't be displaying it on a widescreen TV, so just add the bars to the top and the bottom. If you're creating multiple projects, you can name them different sequences, or you can name it the same thing as your file type. For the settings, if you'd like to go into it more further based on how you filmed it, but most likely it was HDV 1080i, which is interlaced video at 29.97 seconds, and you can reset, should you wish, any of your things. We're not doing widescreen, that's why it's not 1920. If you change that, it would switch to widescreen. And just hit OK. And you're going to move on to the actual file. So there are 4 different windows that come up when you go to the default windows of Premiere. You're more than welcome to add more videos or more screens if you go to Window. These are all different screens. But essentially, if you go to Workspace and New Workspace or Reset, this is the 4 screens it gives you. Your first video is your source video if you're editing a video. This is your final video. This is the timeline of your video. And this is where all your files are kept. So right now we just have our basic file, but we don't have any video. So before we can go get any video, we need to set up our folder. So the one main thing when setting up a folder is I'm going to go to my save files, and I'm going to create a new folder. I'll call it Premiere 101. You must have all your folders in the same place or you will run into problems. So I'm going to take my Premiere 101 folder. I'm going to arrange by name, and now my Premiere 101 should be right next to each other. And I'm going to drag the Premiere file into there. In addition, I'm also going to put another one of these and grab a video clip. If you don't have a video clip, you can grab one from YouTube. I'll show you how to do that in a sec, but let's just, what do I have? Broadcasting. I'm just going to use something that I have handy. Sure, I don't know what this is, so we'll get the surprise, and we'll copy that, and we'll put it into the same folder. So Premiere 101, and paste item. That's simple. If you don't have a video and you just want to test it out, a good little trick is if you go to YouTube and you find whatever video you're looking for. YouTube. Like how my mouse is being finicky. So let's say I'm use the song that's here. If you want to get this song, you just type in SS right after the www. See, www.ss. Hit enter. It'll take you to a site for downloading your video. Okay, so if you're looking for it, and then you can download it, just make sure it's saved to the same folder. Going back to our folder, everything's set up correctly here. So I'm going to go back to my Premiere file, and I'm going to import. You can either go File, Import, or if you go to this lovely space here, you can right-click and import your file. Again, it's going to be located in your Premiere 101 folder. Oh, so close. Okay. the file will import. Now, nothing is in my video. You'll notice that. If I double click the video, it will go into my source monitor. This was a project that grade 12s did last year. And if I scroll through it, I'm going to have all the different parts of the audio from start to finish. Let's say I just want the credits, right from when they're off screen. Now, you can move frame by frame until you actually get the very first frame. Your markers, so you mark in, actually set a clip for where you can mark to take part of your audio. And I'm going to take that right to the end. And now if I dragged it from my source monitor, just to keep existing, it's only going to take where I set the marker. I could also choose to only drag in the video and just cut whatever audio was with it. And notice how it just drags the video. So you can choose to drag just the video or the audio, or if you drag the whole clip, it takes both. To delete a clip, you can just click on it. As well, if you made the mistake of, let's take just the very intro before people come. So we'll set a marker right at the beginning as soon as we see something on the screen. I'm going to turn my audio down. Okay, so I'm going to put my marker in, sets a new marker, and I'm going to push play, and I'm going to stop it right before the people. Okay. Alright, then I'm going to add a mark out and drag it. Let's say I really just wanted the audio, but I dragged it in together. If you hit delete, you delete both, but if you right-click it, you can unlink the clips, and now you can select each individually. So if I wanted that audio to play with the other part of the audio, I can have multiple audio lines at the beginning and have that playing over there and not have that. Okay. As well, if you move a clip over a clip, show you this, you will have two clips on top of each other. To resize a clip, you select the clip and you go to Effects Control, which if you don't see it there, you can go to Window Effects Control. And you get this lovely little box. If you select that, you can resize the clip. And you'll see both because they're on top of each other in the timeline. So there you go. You can have multiple. So if you've ever seen credits when they have pictures of video happening, that video will still roll. It's not a still image, so your entire video will still roll, and it will roll alongside of your credits. So if you see it, it rolls alongside your credits and actually plays out the video. And if you click off of it, you won't get the text frame around anymore. So you get the image. You can have multiple track lines, not just the 3 available. If you need to add more, you can add more tracks. A couple other things that are important to note is your basic toolbars right here. If you don't see those, Window, Tools, and it will pop up. If you would like to cut a clip in the middle, cut my actual top one, you grab your razor blade and you can cut it. And then you can go back to your selection cursor and you can move them separately. If you would like to trim a clip, because it's just too long, there's too much dead space at the end, there's all this extra unnecessary part right there, you can grab the end of a clip and actually shrink the clip down by simply dragging it in. If you realized, oh, I really wanted more, drag it longer. To work with fade-ins and fade-outs directly, this is where if you have it closed, you can't see the line, but if you have it open, you can actually click the line and create nodes. I'm going to do this with my audio. I'm going to zoom in. To zoom in, you extend your, see how you can zoom in there? So you can actually insert keyframes by clicking this little dot. I love when my cursor works. There we go. And now I can click the dot at any point, add a keyframe, marker, add a frame marker, and what it will do, it actually creates this fade out. And you can extend it at any point. Once you select a node, you can have it for as long as you want. You can drag it. But what it does is the audio eventually becomes quieter and quieter. And the same thing exists in image. When we're looking at this image, if we want the image to fade out, we just open up the box, we can see the line. Again, select the clip, select the node, select a node, and you can fade in or fade out any part. If you're grabbing the whole line, you do the whole thing, or just one part by grabbing the node. And it creates a fade in, fade out. Another way to do fades is in your effects menu, a video effect, and you can grab a transition, and you'll have the option to trade between two, dissolves, wipes, or a video transition will give you dissolve, and the main dissolve you ever see is a cross dissolve. So your two clips side by side, it will cross over the two. If not, it will just do a fade. So you can go through any of your effects on the side and drop them on. To zoom out of this, I can zoom back in to have multiple views. Sorry. What's the point? Within your window screen, if you would like to add a title, you can have different menus here, but I find it most easier to just create a new title from this part here. A still title. If you can change the size to be the same size as your movie. I didn't do widescreen, so 1080, sorry. And it will create a screen. And again, if you make the wrong size, you can see anything. You can change it any time by using the same transform we did at the beginning. Here, though, it just basically is like a giant text box. Hello, this is my movie. You can change the font, you can change the color, you can change the size, all within the side menu here. Now I'm just going to close this, and you're going to go back to your projects, and you'll see now you have your first title. So it's not actually anywhere in your movie. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drag this into the front. You'll notice that it became actually a smaller clip at the front. So it's important, if you don't want to lose any of that clip, is that you hold Option overrides it. If you hold Command, it will push everything else back. Or you can drag each thing back. If you find it easier to drag one at a time. Computer's being silly. You can drag one clip at a time and insert at any point. But now you'll see that I have my This Is My Movie clip. And if you select it, you can relocate it and move it around by going back to your effects control. And now you have your This Is My Movie. If you don't like it, you decide you don't like the font, you can just double click it. It'll take you back to the original screen. And again, you can change the size, change the color, and you can see it done in real time. And again, this is where if you have your fun effects at your video transitions, you can add any transition you like and put it at the end, and it will actually adjust the transition for you. If you hit enter, you'll see your effect. Notice when you hit enter, it renders, your red line turns to green. That tells you that all the stuff that you want it to do will actually take place. Sorry, it's not under video transitions. Let's do that again. So let's just do an iris cross. The end there. Hit enter. It's just going to do that one little part. They'll play it from the beginning, and then we should see an iris cross. If you ever want to extend a transition, I'm going to zoom in again, you can actually drag it and extend it so that your iris cross takes longer amount of time. So there you go. If you would like to create your own rolling credits like you see there, let me zoom out. I'll show you how to do that. Super easy. You go to the same place, title, new title, but instead you choose still or roll or crawl. Now a roll rolls up the screen, a crawl crawls atop, but crawls across the bottom. It doesn't really matter what you choose because at the very end, thank you for, and essentially if you hit enter and enter over and over again, what it's going to do is it's going to create all your bodies of text. That's how it creates the role. But now, the most important button you push is this very little button right here. This is what actually animates your roll in and roll out. If you select it, now you have the choice to roll it. You want to start off screen, which means it starts at black, end off screen, which means it ends at black. And then if I close this, again, nothing's over here in my timeline, but if I go back to my project, I can drag this in, hit enter, it renders it out. And I'm just going to go right to the beginning there. And there you go. Thanks for watching and all my text. And again, you can resize it the same way. To change the speed of it, you'd extend the clip for longer, and that would make it slower. Those are kind of the main things you need just to survive through Premiere. Any more questions, please feel free to just ask, and I can create a video for it. But that's kind of like the Premiere 101 interface, just to get familiar with it. All the best!